Hey everybody, it's James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and in today's lesson I'm going to show you how to play Wonderwall by Oasis. And this is another one of those tunes where you can just leave two fingers down the entire time. I taught Zombie by the Cranberries in January, and that also uses the same trick. So if you've learned that, it shouldn't be too hard to pick this one up. If along the way you find that you need any extra help, I have a free ebook. It's completely free for all my subscribers and goes over all the fundamentals of rhythm guitar. I'll put a link to that in the corner. Otherwise, let's just jump right in and take a look at the chord shapes. We start off on E minor 7, and we're going to put our pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the thinnest string and our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and they're going to stay there for pretty much the entire tune. And then we just make our E minor shape with these two fingers. From there, we go to a G chord, and we only have to move one finger, just our middle finger. You should still take the time to adjust and make it feel comfortable. You know, you might have to put this one up a little bit higher, closer to the fret. That's our G chord. Then D sus4, and we're just going to put our index finger on the 2nd fret of the G string for that. And then A7 sus4. So it's just like E minor, except we move our index and middle down one string each. There's also a C add 9 chord, which is just like our G chord, except we're moving those two fingers down one string each. And there's one more shape, but we'll learn it later on when we need to use it. So at this point, I want to play through the progression from the verse with downstrokes only, just so we can get used to counting out the right number of beats for each chord transition. Starting on E minor, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And before we go and learn the rest of the chords for all the rest of the sections, let's take a moment and add our strumming pattern to that. The strumming pattern goes like this. I'll do it slowly. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So you'll notice that I'm switching chords halfway through the pattern. Let's ignore that switch for now and just focus on the strokes. We're going to divide our strumming pattern into a few parts. The first bit goes... And that's simple enough. We're just going down on beat 1, down on beat 3, and then down up on 4 and. Let's just try that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And now let's start off on that down up on 4 and let's continue with the next bit of the pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. 3, 4. So this part's a little syncopated. That means there's lots of upstrokes, basically. And it helps if on that beat 1, we say miss. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and miss, up, down, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, down, up, miss, up, down, 3, 4. I want you to practice it just like that, counting all the missing beats, you know, and playing that middle part. And then we can add the ending to that, which is just down, down, up on 3, 4 and. You know, it's not too tricky to add that part. Let's do it nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, down, up, down, 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 up. 1, 2, 3, down, up, down, 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 up. And all we have to do is add back that very first bit that we practiced, and we'll be able to play the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, 2, down, down, up, miss, up, down, 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 up, down, 2, down, down, up, miss, up, down, 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 up. And if you're having trouble with it at this point, I recommend learning how to say it. Just looking at the pattern and saying it out loud, rhythmically, just going 1, 2, down, down, up, miss, up, down, 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 up, over and over again. You want to get the rhythm inside you first, and then it's pretty easy to get it out with your hands once you can actually feel it, right? So that's a good way to do it. Either way, take your time with that strumming pattern at your own pace, and then eventually we'll want it to get to, that pace over and over again. And once you're good with that, we can add that switch back to it. The switch is happening on the first upstroke, on the and of 4. So down, 2, down, down, up, down, 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 up. I want you to try that going from E minor to G. You can always, during that downstroke on beat 4, that's where you can make your switch. If you're having a little bit of trouble making it that fast, you can go down, 2, down, switch, up, down, 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 up. And it won't sound great slow, but once you speed it up, you didn't even really notice that I played like that for a split second while I was switching to my G chord. So take a moment now and add that switch to it. We're also going to be going from D to A the same way. And later on in the tune, there's a couple more, and we'll do those when we need them. So take some time with that, and then we're going to add our strumming pattern to our chord progression, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Cool. So what we just learned was the main chord progression that you're going to use for the majority of the song. But there is one slight variation during the first verse. Instead of just repeating that chord progression 4 times, the 4th time we'll play and that is C going into D. And remember, we got to split our pattern, so we'll want to practice that going down, 2, down, down, up, down, 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 up. And then we do our strumming pattern 1 time on A. So the very first verse, we use our usual progression 3 times, and then we play that progression. And that's the first verse. Otherwise, the rest of the verses are just our usual progression 4 times. Our intro is our usual progression 4 times. That's the usual progression for a reason. Now, the only parts we have left are the pre-chorus and the chorus. The pre-chorus, C add 9 into D, splitting the pattern between those 2 chords, and then E minor 7. We do that 2 times, and then we start doing that, and we go so we have like a bit of a descending bass line sort of thing. We're going from a G chord into D over F sharp. And for that, we're going to leave our ring finger down. And then we're going to put our index on the 2nd fret of the thickest string. Skip a string, 2nd fret of the G string with our middle finger. That's D over F sharp. Super useful shape. And then from there, we're going to leave our ring finger down. We'll add our pinky back, go into E minor 7. And for that one, since we're on the D over F sharp, we're just kind of bringing those 2 fingers in towards the, A and D string. And then we go into a G chord again. And then we land on A, and we play A for 2 measures. So let's just isolate that bit going G, D over F sharp, E minor, G, and then landing on A. Let's try that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, D over F sharp, E minor 7, G, A. when we add the strumming to that part, we play it just like that, just one downstroke each. You know, it's nothing fancy. And with that said, I think we're ready to try the pre-chorus with our strumming pattern. You can always just watch, see how this goes, and then try it with me after. Starting out on C, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, try that as many times as you need to. And then all we have left to learn is the chorus. And the chorus just uses the same progression 4 times. It goes C, E minor, G, E minor. And we're going to be going C, splitting our pattern into E minor, and then G, splitting our pattern into E minor. So I would practice, just isolate that, you know, just do the pattern going from C to E minor until you can feel comfortable with that switch. Same thing for G to E minor. And then we can put the chorus all together with our strumming pattern. Once again, you can always just watch, see what's going on, and try it with me after. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And when we're playing the first chorus, we actually end our progression a little short on the 4th repeat. We go, and we let it ring out. And then there's a little drum fill, and then we go into the next verse. So just a little heads up about that part. The first chorus ends that way. Otherwise, that's everything there is to learn as far as the chords and the strumming go. Now, when it comes to putting this tune together, we start off with an intro, which is just our chord progression 4 times. Then we have the first verse, which, remember, there's that little ending that's a little bit different than that one that we went over. Our second verse, which is our chord progression 4 times. Our pre-chorus, chorus, and this chorus ends on that E minor chord, rings out, drum fill, come back into the third verse, which is just our chord progression 4 times, pre-chorus, and then we do 2 choruses, and then we have an outro, which is just the chords from the chorus, but with like a cello playing over it. Now, before we go, I just want to talk a little bit about the counting as far as the rhythm's concerned. We kind of cheated a little just to make it simpler to count, when in reality, this strumming pattern is a 16th note strumming pattern. Now, it's the exact same thing, just the way we count it is differently. This is how the pattern should actually be counted. So I just wanted to clear that up for those of you that are ready for 16th notes. I encourage you to practice the pattern, practice counting it out this way, going 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Otherwise, that's how you play Wonderwall. That's how you put the entire tune together. If you need any extra help, don't forget there's my free ebook for rhythm guitar. I also have a complete beginner's course that goes over everything from absolute beginner, turning you into a confident strummer, learning songs along the way. You can also check out my Patreon page where I have a complete playthrough for this tune and a whole bunch more. I have a ton of worksheets and a lot of, written material and stuff to help you learn guitar better. That's on my Patreon page. It's also a great way to help support the channel. Otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments section down below, and have a fun time practicing. I'll see you soon.